Hey, listen!
Welcome everyone, this is Andre's Restart, and today we're going to have a little bit of discussion on what is next for the creator of Super Smash Bros. And Kirby, Masahiro Sakurai. While he does have a history of working hard and at times even put his health at risk, in recent times he's dialed it back and has gone to live a more healthy, balanced lifestyle from what we've heard and seen. And late last year we learned that he now considers himself to be semi-retired. But semi-retired does not mean he's totally retired. There are still projects in the works. So it raises the question, what is next for Masahiro Sakurai? Will he bring us another game that will be amazing on the Switch or a future system? I think so, and that's what we're talking about today. But before we go further, let me point out that we are aiming to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. With your help, it just might be possible. And I'll also say if you're looking to save a little bit of money on your game purchases on the Nintendo Switch eShop, check the link in the description below. It's for instant gaming. There you can buy eShop points for cheaper than their actual price, and that could save you a little bit of money and you can get games for cheaper while also helping out the channel a little bit. So late last year, we got an interview with Sakurai, and there was a translation by Push Justin that reads, Sakurai confirms that he is semi-retired. He is 52 after all. When Smash for 3DS, Wii U, and Ultimate, he spent 9 years in active development. Sakurai felt that if he is just continuously making games full-time, his life will be over before he realizes it. And I think this is very understandable. There have been times during development for the different Smash Bros. Games where Sakurai's health was in question. This man has been known to work very hard, perhaps too hard. So it's good to see that he is looking to retire a bit early. I've looked it up, apparently the average age for men to retire in Japan is 60, so retiring around 52, that would be pretty good. But he isn't retiring totally, he is just in semi-retirement, suggesting that yes, more can come. There can be more games coming from Sakurai, and there are some things going on that suggest that that will indeed happen. Now, it should be noted that lately Sakurai has been working on a project and to some success with his YouTube channels, Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games. There's a few different languages of it. He talks about different concepts and ideas that are meant to help people to learn how games work and how to make them. And these are very high quality videos that are very fun to watch, and they come out multiple times a week. So there's a lot of content here, and this definitely would take some time. Now, I'm sure Sakurai receives some level of help to do this, at least with maybe translations, but this effort alone, you could argue, is already a part-time effort, so maybe he doesn't have any other time to work on other games. But I think it's clear that Sakurai cares about games. Here he's making a YouTube channel designed around teaching and helping people to learn about games. And I think a big part of this is sort of his exit strategy. And what I mean is that this is definitely a great way to raise up a new generation so they can start to make games as he starts to wind down. And if he's going to be winding down, then I think it makes sense to think that whatever Sakurai does next, it's going to be more of an overseeing role, watching and guiding others. So whatever does happen, I don't think he's going to be working nearly as hard as he was, say for example, with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But I also don't think that means that he doesn't have a vision for future games. So recently, Masahiro Sakurai put out a video about Kid Icarus Uprising and was talking about the development of that game. But towards the end, he said some things that seemed to dispel the idea that we may be getting a remaster of this game. It's a shame that it's only lived on 3DS, as I'd love to play on a bigger screen with smoother graphics. But without a team around to work on it, crafting a follow-up seems difficult. So after this video was seen, many started to think that the rumored Kid Icarus Uprising remaster is now deconfirmed. And at first I still had some hope because I was thinking maybe this is just meant to sort of tease a little bit more, perhaps a bit of a fake out, only to surprise us a bit later. Because he is talking about having an enhanced version of this game coming out, and he's only saying it seems difficult, doesn't mean it can't happen. And he wasn't even specifying for Switch, implying maybe for the new system that we keep hearing about. But on Twitter, Sakurai also had something else to say regarding Kid Icarus Uprising. porting and sequel will be difficult after all. At current game standards, remaking even one model will be too expensive to cover the volume of this work. Sometimes I think about writing a continuation of the scenario without any purpose, but I can't imagine what the product image is like. Get it on your 3DS while you can. So with this said, I think it's pretty clear that currently there isn't a Kid Icarus Remaster in the works. And while we do know that Bandai Namco is working on something for Nintendo that will be a 3D action game and also a remaster of sorts, it doesn't look like it's Kid Icarus Uprising. And while the fanboy in me may have some vestige of hope that maybe Sakurai is just trying to pull our legs here and it's still going to happen and he wants it to be a big amazing surprise, when he says to get it on your 3DS while you can, I don't think he would do that if he was working on a remaster of this game. But at the same time, when he talks about Kid Icarus with this longer video that he doesn't normally make on his channel, and brings up how he would want this game to get remastered in some way, and it not being the first time he's done that on his channel, and then also talking about it here on Twitter, I do think the idea is that he's perhaps trying to drill up some level of excitement about this and is hoping that maybe something can come together where it can happen. He is expressing his desire to have this game remastered. So perhaps in the not so distant future, this remaster will be greenlit and it will happen, and given that it's a remaster, it may not even take that long. Perhaps it just takes a couple years. So who knows, maybe in 2025 we hear about this game. It's possible, but I think what's even more interesting is that he's not only talking about having a remaster or port of some kind, but a sequel. He's talking about writing a continuation. So perhaps Sakurai has a desire to get a remaster out, re-establish this series to a newer audience, and then build off that momentum and come out with a sequel, which could be amazing. This would be an opportunity for Kid Icarus to become a recurring franchise, like Metroid, like Pikmin, like Fire Emblem, like Xenoblade. Games that maybe don't sell like Mario or Zelda or Pokemon, but perhaps sell a handful of million, 2 to 3 million or so, and it's enough to keep the series going. So it really wouldn't surprise me if Kid Icarus is what's next for Masahiro Sakurai. But I also think it needs to be said, at some point or another, there needs to be more Smash Brothers. And maybe Smash Ultimate is the last Smash game made by Sakurai. And also maybe it's going to be some time before we see the next Smash Brothers. I think we probably won't see it until the next Nintendo system. And when that happens, maybe it'll be a reboot, and maybe Sakurai will take on some level of an overseeing role to help raise up the next generation, and also to make sure Smash Brothers is the way it should be, but also taking a step back so he's not as involved and can still enjoy this partial retirement. And it's also possible that maybe Nintendo will follow up the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass with a Smash Character Stage Booster Pass. Like, that's definitely possible, I think, and it may be a great way to lengthen the lifespan of Smash Ultimate without having to make a whole-on other new game in the near future. And perhaps this scenario where there might be DLC, Sakurai could oversee this while guiding someone else to take on the reins later on. But this is something I think Sakurai would have some role in. So that's my take on this. I think that Sakurai is going to be taking a step back. He is enjoying partial retirement, but that doesn't mean he won't work on things. And he'll work on things that won't require that much input from him, but some level. And he will eventually make something Kid Icarus related. Maybe he will help to make this a more steady series. And I think he will also at least assist with the next Smash Brothers in some way, shape, or form. I do not believe he'll be as involved as beforehand, but instead, as he's doing with his YouTube channel, he'll be helping to establish a new generation of developers to make games. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. This is Andres Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.